In this video, I'll be showing you how to find articles via the scholarly conversation and a method called citation chasing. The scholarly conversation is the idea that researchers build upon existing research by reading and citing each other's work. When an author or a researcher comes up with a study, they start out by reading what has already been done on that topic, and then when they write their study, they cite those authors in their paper. So really, research is a scholarly conversation between researchers. One way that researchers can find related research is by reviewing an article's reference list and locating the sources including there. That method is called citation chasing, and I'm going to show that to you in our video. Now here, you can see I've completed a search in the ERIC database using a search string that I've used in other videos. You may want to check out the other videos on our YouTube channel to see how to search a database like ERIC. Once you've identified an article that you like, for example, number 7 here, maybe I want to research the Latino achievement gap, you can click where it says full text PDF to access the article, or you can click on the Find It button to access it through another database or order it through interlibrary loan. Once I click on that full text PDF link, I will be able to see the article and download it to my computer. Now let's say we want to use the scholarly conversation to see what others have written on this topic. The first thing we'll want to do is to see what authors Michael Madrid has cited in his paper. You can start off by reading the introduction or the literature review sections of the article, and you will notice that the author should have in-text citations referring to where he or she got his or her information. Once you see a piece of information that you would like to use in your own paper, you need to find the original source of that information and find it and read it yourself, and then cite that original study yourself. We can find the references towards the bottom of the article in a section called References. See it down here. So you would look for the correct author and year for the reference that you want to find. The important thing to notice is to be able to tell when something is a journal article versus when something is a book, for example, or a report, because you would look for them in different places. This second citation here, you can see, is from the Journal of Latinos in Education, Volume 4, Issue 2, pages 77 through 94, and it was published in 2005. If I wanted to find this article, I would use something on the library's homepage called the Journal Finder. The second citation is actually for a book. One clue that tells me that it's a book is that it has a location. It has a state and a city, and it has a publisher instead of telling me the title of the journal and the volume issue numbers and page numbers. If I wanted to find this book, I would put the title of the book in the search box on the library's homepage to see if the library had that book. Most of the time, you'll probably be looking for journal articles, so let me show you how you could find this article through the library's website. The first thing we would do would be to copy the title of the journal, which is Journal of Latinos and Education. And we want to remember that we're looking for the year 2005, Volume 4, Issue 2. So let's go back to the library's homepage. And this time I'm going to click on the tab that says Journals because we're trying to figure out if the library subscribes to a specific journal. I've pasted the title of the journal in there, and I can click Search. Yes, we do have the Journal of Latinos in Education, so I can click where it says Available Online to access the journal. Now we have to remember what year the article was published in because it lists all of the issues over here on the right. It was 2005, so I'm going to click here. And it was Volume 4, Issue 2, so I'll click on this link now. If the journal you're looking for comes from a different publisher, their website might look a little bit different, but just keep in mind that same process where you're going to browse for the correct year, volume, and issue number to get to the correct issue of the journal. And here it is. There was that article I was looking for, and I can click where it says PDF full text to get the article. Remember, if there's a book or an article that you want that the library doesn't have, you can go back to the library's homepage And you can use a service called Interlibrary Loan to request the book or article. We can try to get it for you. Just keep in mind it takes a couple of business days to get articles. They can be sent through your email, and it could take a couple of weeks to get a book if it has to physically be mailed. Let's look back at my search. We were interested in this article called The Latino Achievement Gap that was written by Michael Madrid. I showed you how to do citation chasing to see what articles he cited in his article that you might want to cite in your own paper. One way to do that was by looking at the reference list and then putting the name of the journal into the journal search box on our homepage and finding the articles. Another thing that's nice about our ProQuest databases is it has these links here that say cited by and references. So if I click on the references link, this will try to link me to all those references that we saw at the end of the paper. This might save you some time. If you can find the reference here, you can click on the Find It button, or it might even have the full text that you can click on. It doesn't include everything that was literally on the article like we saw it here, so you might notice it's not perfect, it might be missing things, but this might help you get to some of the articles a little bit faster than having to use the journal search. The other thing I wanted to show you is the cited by link. So the references link is everyone that Michael Madrid cited in his article. The cited by link is everyone that has cited this article, the Latino Achievement Gap, since it was written. So this article was written all the way back in 2011. Let's see who cited it since then. And wow, it's been cited 106 times. That's kind of a clue that this was an important article because so many people have cited it. You can see the ones around it. This one was only cited 53 times. This one was only cited 60 times. So sometimes how many times an article has been cited can give us an idea of how important or meaningful or perhaps popular the article was. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to click where it says cited by. And this is going to find me articles that are more recent, newer articles that have been cited by that have cited my original article since it was written. The only thing I want you to keep in mind here is that these might not necessarily be scholarly journal articles. You can see that a lot of these are dissertations. Dissertations will be a lot longer than a scholarly journal article. They're the body of work that a doctoral student publishes before he or she graduates. So they're usually a couple hundred pages. They're a lot closer to a book. And they are technically student work because they are written by doctoral students. So we might want to skip over some of these dissertations until we can see some examples of articles. Here's some. This one was an article published in the Journal of Urban Education, Volume 52, Issue 3, back in 2017. Here's one published in Community Mental Health Journal, Volume 53, Issue 1. And if I wanted to get to these articles, I could click on Full Text PDF, or I could use that Find It button to see if we have it anywhere. So this was an introduction to the scholarly conversation. I wanted to get across to you all that articles are not written in a vacuum. They involve researchers citing other researchers, building upon existing research, and reviewing articles' reference lists to find sources. You are a scholarly researcher as a student at Palm Beach Atlantic University, and you can join into the scholarly conversation by using these strategies. As always, please let me know if you have any questions, and please feel free to review or view our other videos on YouTube.